head. But as this match starts up, you guys can chew on that as you wish. Make sure you guys send Colin your application. Send me your application. Blaze Reflection. Figure out who you guys want on this superstar roster we're about to make. Because who knows? Maybe y'all got paid your $100. Maybe we signed up for a challenger tournament. And maybe we take away one of these pro league spots from some of these teams who aren't trying hard enough.
Everybody's got a price for the $1 million man. All right, PR, I'll tell you that much right now. Crack Kardia. They're backing up as they see Xploidz trying to come across the top of the map. The pressure from Fire and Ice is going to come through the top side, trying to pressure onto the home hill. Kardia with Identivez to his left are going to continue to back up. They are waiting in the wings. Lancers out for anybody to press it down those stairs. A lot of damage early on. Crack will be the first player down on the side of Rebel. I don't know if anybody's there to get the quick revive off onto him. He's going to be crawling around. Toti's going to be inside of that hill. He's going to be double lancered, and you see it, Crack has been left alive. They're letting him bleed out, which is also giving up the ability to try to give him this revive, but Toti hits the wrap. Crack will get revived, and the 2v1 will be won right now by Rebel, and they're going to be able to pressure out the rest of Fire and Ice here shortly.
Yeah, I don't like that opening strategy coming up from Fire and Ice. That's something you throw in later on down the game, especially when you have one of the best 1v1 players playing up top that strikes fear, no pun intended, in his opponents. But now, because you throw that strategy out, you give Rebel the 2-hill lead. They're going to hold on to those hills and have a 30-plus point lead here in just a few moments, and you're forcing your pressure on towards yourself. Now you're forcing yourself to make a move while the other team is just collecting those points, and the move may not be the best, but there it goes. The attempt coming through as Rebel trying to hold on. Xploidz finds a way to get into the hill, neutralizes it, and gets the elimination onto Demon. A little ill-advised hopping over that cover, but the move will be made nonetheless, and Fire and Ice now in the driver's seat.
Big shot by Kardia gets the down. He's going to clean up Fearzly, and now Kardia will pressure across toward that C hill. You can see multiple members from Rebel trying to posit themselves just outside of the home hill. You can see Dyslexic waiting for somebody to try to pressure up on him. He's not going to be able to get into the area just in time. You see Fearzly coming off a spawn. Fire and Ice trying to set up and continue to hold this 2-to-1 hill advantage to come back in this. Toti shots over those boxes will start to get downs. Finish off as well. Now they're going to pressure Identivez. They get him to be finished off as well. Demon is going to Lancer out, but I believe he's about to get squished by two members of Fire and Ice, and they are going to pressure this triple cap domination here in the next few seconds. Kardia, he's going to take this 1v1 all the way across the map and against Fearzly, but this might be too little, too late.
Unfortunate for Kardia. He took too much damage early on, honestly. He should have got behind the cover, held his right-hand advantage, get the decap to come through, then play. That's after the fact. Great first round on the board for F&I. And there it goes. A strategy to break down. We know the pistols are going to go down. I don't think the strategy is going to change at all from honestly any one of those teams. You put it there on that ocean exhibit as close as you can, because that is going to be the weapon you are upgrading to the retro, to the shock, or the ensign, and you want it as close to the battlefield as possible, and that makes it where you're able to use it, and that way you don't have to go out of your way to grab it onto that home run.
And what you'll see in this next round is everybody trying to rotate out, and they're going to try to probably use those Boltox to get a few shots onto one of those hallways to be able to pressure out, pressure up against them. There you go, already flashes out. Xploidz here on the left side against Identivez. He's going to continue to back up. As you can see, the second player from Fire and Ice is moving into the position, going for a little bit of a shimmy shake. I believe that's Toti, who is now down. Back gaze out from Xploidz. Won't be able to find enough damage to get it down on either one of them. The shots from all the way up top will have the extra shot in and damage, but not going to be able to find any downs. And I believe early in this one, Rebel's going to be able to pressure the 2v1 hill advantage. If they can just get somebody on B, they're getting kills, but they have yet to solidify this hill.
Fire and Ice doing a good job, but they need to stop the bleeding now. Fall back just a little bit. Let them get that 2 hills under your control. Get Dyslexic alive. Because you have Fearzly overextended that far, you can go ahead and continue to push him over. Maybe give him a little bit of reinforcements, not necessarily to stay, but to continue to intimidate the defense. And in turn, that will spread out the defense of Rebel, giving you more opportunity to catch people on towards rotation. But until that point comes, it's going to be a straight up 3v3 down low to where F&I is going to have to brute force their way in to some of this positioning.
Shots across. 2-to-1 hill advantage in favor of Rebel. Dyslexic is down. Demon will clean him up. Now Demon has Xploidz right in front of him. The Lancer fire out. We'll have him a little bit red, but not a lot. Toti's going to get pressured in a 2v1. Bouncing around. Gets a big brick onto Identivez. Trying to get that second shot for the down. Crack rolls back, but the rotation in will not find either of them in Rebel. will find them with a win here.
They're going for the second consecutive round. We're having an early start in this one. They're executing much better, realizing their situation, realizing their conditions, realizing it's in a triple cap domination scenario. We can't even overstay to try to find elimination. We have to backtrack and turn. They find that elimination on Xploidz. They take out Fearzly. Lots of damage being done to Dyslexic, and Demon making the smart play, going for the hill rather than the elimination, forcing Dyslexic now to make a decision about where he wants to help. And then Demon's just backtracking out, knowing that player is going to respawn. He's going to have more than enough here if he can just find a way to stay alive.
And Demon is going to try to poke back out and get a shot on Dyslexic. No capture on the home hill because they don't have time for it. They have to get all the way to the C hill. You see a Dyslexic just holding the roadie strafe now. He's just trying to get across Helm's half acre to get to that C hill. They're going to be held up a few more seconds left, but with those 2 kills on the side of Fire and Ice, Rebel will find their first round, and it'll be 1-1 going into the 3rd round. Beautiful job there, and I think it all really starts off with the early downs from Rebel, especially when they got Toti cleaned up. Toti and Xploidz off that left hallway. I mean, it was damn near all over, but Cry and Rebel could play as much pressure as they wanted for the rest of that round.
Yeah, they did a good job of pushing over, being the early aggressors, but like you said, Toti just taking too much damage, not bait and switching correctly. That way he puts that fresh man out first to keep themselves alive. Really did a number, and you got to give up props to Rebel, not only solidifying that play, but holding on to the rest of the round. Multiple times Fearzly tried to overextend towards the top, tried to spread out the numbers, but was unsuccessful. One of those times being from Kardia, a player who was eliminated earlier on in the round, but already you see the difference in the strategy. A retro on one side, while double pistol utility for the other.
Now we see Dyslexic trying to get that angle out there on Crack. You can see the mark. You see Xploidz move up into the area, gets that flank shot on and kill. Now they're trying to capture this B hill. Demon is trying to use this aquarium hallway to his advantage. Back A out will get a lot of damage on. You can hear the retro ringing out from Toti, but he runs right into the shotgun of Demon, which now leaves Xploidz in a 2v1 as Xploidz has not been able to damage out Identivez enough to get the down. And once again, we called him out before the game began. Demon is on a whole other level by himself right now. That man is playing on the penthouse and everybody else is just trying to find the elevator.
I really thought that loss of the night was going to do more damage to the psyche of Rebel, but I think it kind of did the opposite. It fueled them even more. You see how quick they're making some of these moves. Demon is not slowing down from the terror he's put on Gears Esports in recent weeks. 3 players geared up. They need to make this push. The decap is going to come first, but they need to figure out a way to solidify the eliminations. Identivez gets traded out, but Xploidz goes down. Fearzly goes down. That's going to be 2 kills for Demon. Crack gets a 3rd. His Dyslexic falls, and there should be a triple cap domination attempt if they can just end Toti. Toti goes down, and that is going to be it for this round. Rebel will get 2 consecutive rounds here to go up 2-1 over Fire and Ice.
Rebel has done a fantastic job in these last 2 rounds, as I said, with the team fights, the way that they're able to take these positionings, and I think a lot of that comes down to do with the fact that Rebel just seems more confident in their 1v1s. Fire and Ice is having to win a lot of these matchups by playing together and pushing up in 2v1s, whereas Rebel are really playing man-on-man defense. That you saw right there. Toti tries to push up in the 1v1. Demon shuts him down, and then Identivez plays the 1v1 long enough, plays it defensively enough to get the help. There was no need for him to pressure once he found out that his teammate won his own 1v. I mean, they're doing this to perfection. The exhibit right now is under Rebel's control. These past 2 rounds, Fire and Ice need to find an answer in this 4th round, last round of the first half. Crack throws a Voltox shot out, but it doesn't catch anybody. Identivez is going to be full red as he tries to rotate back to his spawn, but nobody's going to go down as Crack finds the ice-breaking kill. Toti will finally trade him out. Now Identivez shots over the cover. Fearzly up top has a great little Lancer angle on him, but Identivez can continue to back A and roll out and try to stay away from him and play this defensively and wait for his teammate to come off respawn, but Toti, thankfully for Fire and Ice fans, will find that kill.
I thought you were about to make a pun. Totally, something like that going through as he got that elimination. Finds another one onto Demon. This is why you guys got to get the eliminations when you can. Toti needed to have gotten taken out sooner, but Fearzly from up top saving his life. Demon getting taken out, not able to reset that hill. And Fire and Ice, wow, 2 hills under their control. About 20 points to come back from Colin, but they're going to be in the driver's seat to do just that. I like the setup they have, forcing a player from Rebel to backtrack, getting on respawn. The Jets will continue to be staggered, and I like the way they're playing. Identivez here has to not get taken out. They're already down a man. If he falls at this point in time, the deaths will continue to be staggered. He's putting out shot after shot with that shotgun, staying alive. Kardia even dying up top. This is not looking good for Rebel as Fire and Ice now retake the lead back.
And you see what Identivez is doing. He's buying time once again. He's using that cubby corner. He's shooting around it. He's not putting himself in danger. He knows that Crack has 10 seconds before he comes off spawn, and there's no point in him pressuring. Dyslexic moved up with a shotgun out, got a couple of shots on. Identivez is a little red. Nobody's really up top to be able to Lancer down on him, but the up A from Dyslexic will find that kill. You see the first kill being answered back. That'll be Fearzly. I don't know if anybody's anywhere to get to a hill just in time, but I mean, everybody from Rebel came off a spawn and was able to kill Toti off quite quickly and succinctly. But they've got to get going. As you can see, the 2-to-1 hill advantage will cross Fire and Ice over the 200-point threshold here very carefully and quickly.
Demon once again being annoying as possible. In that decap, force them to take their time. This is gonna allow the middle portions of the map to be open for Rebel to take the fight. They solidify those eliminations. And you see the neutral changing hands, but they need more than that neutral. They need all three, and they're gonna get all three. It's Demon again. He backtracks, gets the break for a second consecutive time. They don't capture the neutral though for Rebel, so Demon's gonna have to continue fighting for his life here. A shot grenade to create some separation, but they're not going to be enough as the revives are going to come through. There is gonna be a second capture though, and I think the win condition will switch on over towards Rebel here in just a few short moments, but no, Fire and Ice, they're gonna hold on.
And you see what Kardia is doing. He's trying to look out for both of these players. That back ledge, 18 seconds to go. They have to make one more move. Kardia is probably gonna go wide here, trying to spread the numbers and spread the lanes, the lane priority of Fire and Ice to try to find one little opening for them to get into the hill, but the back A from Fearzly shuts him down. They've got another down. This will be a Fire and Ice round. They tie it up going into the second half. It's 2-2. And right now, both teams playing perfectly. I don't really see a mistake coming out of either team. I know that it's 2-2, and of course you got to make mistakes to lose rounds, but it's not like either team is giving up but so much ground.
Yeah, and you got to give it up to Demon again. Even though they didn't win that round, not once, but twice. Overextending, staying alive, backtracking when needed to. Like I said, lately, this past few weeks, Colin, he's been playing near perfection the way he's been able to take over some of these games, but all down the line you kind of see a little bit of difference in strategy. You see one team running that shot grenade forward so they can grab it and use it as close as possible. The other team holding it towards the other side. That means Kardia, he's gonna have to waste a few seconds to grab that shot grenade, and he's facing it up top. That potential for him to shot grenade the enemy lines is huge. Well placed flash. It's not gonna stop Demon though. Dyslexic gets taken out. That's gonna be first blood for Rebel. Flash there as well.
Well, I was going to say, I was waiting to see an extra move come out from Rebel, but they've got the E hill. They didn't pressure up. They're going to get that. They're going to get that initial kill, that initial icebreaker, and Fire and Ice has to come back out and find their way across the map. You see Demon posted up against Toti. The Boltok shots will set him back down momentarily, but Toti's going to have to find damage across the map, and he's missed every shot. I was watching the percentages as I was watching him throw shots out. He didn't hit one of those PR, and he's still missing. I mean, finally his Demon about 2 feet away from him. I'm glad I'm not going to the shooting range with Toti anytime soon here in the backwoods of Virginia. That might be bad news for your boy.
He's hitting everything but the can on the pedestal right now. But I like his confidence, though. He's not backing down. He's not getting scared. He's not changing it up. He's getting aggressive. Crack on the top side, taking out former teammate Fearzly from a few years back as he continues to push forward, realizing we need to get this decap. We don't want to let this game get out of reach to where it's boiling down to one final push at the end, but nobody able to save his life. Kardia forced to retreat. That cleanup towards the backside will be cleaned up as well. Dyslexic takes out Kardia. That's going to be 2. Make that 3 as Demon falls, and Identivez finding himself between a rock and a hard place. 4 players dead from Rebel. All fire, no ice as they're looking to solidify this round.
Dyslexic in the hill. He's going to be the first line of defense. Here comes the second player. They're going to go for the double cap here right now. Kardia is going to try to bounce in, goes for the roadie strafe, gets the initial touch. They get one kill. This is one of those scary situations where, as the last player alive for Fire and Ice, you just run all the way to F. You just run all the way back home.
You almost have to, but because of Fearzly being up here, his possession is going to be given away. by the lasers. You can kind of see it over there towards the top. And Fearzly needs to start pressing. He needs to create some separation. Even if his intention isn't to fight Demon in a 1v1, he needs to have Demon make that communication and force somebody from Rebel to fall back. But you're letting Demon take over all this positioning to where it's going to do the opposite. Now, Fire and Ice, they need to get a break on this neutral sooner rather than later. Crack is set up in the middle. Big shots being fired off. Xploidz unable to land the kill blow, and he pays for it in the end. Xploidz gets taken out. Toti trying to get revenge, but he falls all the same. Dyslexic gets one. This is just a back and forth battle. 3 players dead for the side of Fire and Ice, though. All coming down to Dyslexic, and he will get nothing as Rebel close out another round, going up 3-2.
Over-aggression will usually net you one of two things: a triple cap or a complete reverse team wipe. I think those are just about your only options a lot of times in Gears Esports. And that time, Fire and Ice, they got over-aggressive. It came back to bite them, and they had nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They're going to have to come back in this next round. And I think they're going to, hopefully they learn from their mistakes, I guess is the word I want to look for. They need to make sure that they don't have the same situation where they basically give themselves up after getting, what, 3-man wipe? It was 3-man wipe because the only player left alive was up top.
Yeah. Kardia went overextended. Crack took too much damage. Toti, I don't even know how Toti got down, possibly getting crossed out. And that's the wickedness. You can see it, the difference in these teams. You guys need to get on the same page if you're going for a triple cap domination, another round of eliminations, an aggressive setup, or you're falling back. That has to be clear. You almost want to blame it on the IGL, but it takes the full team to tango here in that situation. So 3-2, Rebel will be up by 1, but this goes another round of toying with each other. It slows down in the beginning until they target a player. I almost think on a map like this, you need to figure out which one of those side hallways you want to target with those retros, possibly even overstack it and attack as fast as possible. And in this case, I think Demon is the target.
Well, he almost has to be. This is like what we saw with Team Queso, where Pell and Cells were lighting up the scoreboard, and then they got marked out, and they had no choice but to have to try to focus those players. Fearzly's got all the way across the top, has a down there onto Crack. Demon has to rotate over to get that revive, but now Demon has to rotate and try to be able to get behind enemy lines to force Fearzly back across the top side of the map. 2-1 hill advantage in favor of Fire and Ice. You can see Identivez rolling back now, trying to pressure up onto anybody he can find, but he's going to go down. He's going to get cleaned up. Now Crack gets wrapped on, and that's going to open things up for Fire and Ice to try to tie this thing up 3-3, if you ask me.
But you figure out a way to stay alive. On the other side, Kardia needs to get this elimination. That's going to be a big one, but it comes in way of trade. That's where I talk about being on the same page. It does look like they want this triple cap domination, aggressively pushing up. Well-played shot grenade could create separation. Identiv found a way to get through, but he took so much damage from the shotgun and the shot grenade itself that Fire and Ice are going to be able to hold on defensively and tie this game up.
That'll be 3-3. Now we're in that best of 3. I love the way these maps have been settled out lately, where you get all the way to the 6th round, and now it's just a matter of winning 2. You almost simplify it for yourself. You make yourself win this next round. You put yourself back in the driver's seat. You can get the disable out. You can make your opponents make a bad decision. Incendiary grenades being placed out by both teams, and right now I got to give a big shout out to Demon, as we did before the matchup started. 14 kills, 6 assists. He has reached that double-digit death count though, which is a little worrying, but I'm not sure if that's exactly worrying for his teammates, because they're still in this thing all tied up, and like they did last round, they might just need to protect him a little bit better.
That's where I look at with that retro not being there anymore. I think the plan concept stays the same from up top, and there goes the communication. You don't hear it, but you almost sense it. As Crack felt like you saw that one coming from a mile away. Once that one dissipates, that's where I want to see them go on the offensive here. Figure out which side of the map you want to attack and go. You can even have him back out, go over towards that hallway, and rearrange your personnel to kind of push it from there, but nobody really taking the risk just yet. Lots of utility being wasted, but for what? As nobody gained any positioning out of it just yet. So we got a little bit of a stalemate to start this one off. 50 points are going to be reached around the board before anybody makes a move.
Fearzly's going to look at that corner. He's going to see one player there. He's going to get tagged just a hair, but not enough to really make him worry about his life yet. He actually backs on up, Lancer in hand. You can see, though, nobody has capped up that E-Hill. Nobody has made a mistake or has found themselves on the wrong end of a death. Everybody pushing up Xploidz against Identivez. Shot over the cover, gets a couple of pellets, but both players a little bit hurt right now. Seems like the worst amount of damage so far has been put on into Toti, but everybody basically settles back down. The Incendiary comes through, and Xploidz has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He goes down, and that will open up the E-Hill for the side of Rebel to take over. The shock is down, which will buy Fire and Ice about 10 seconds to try to come back into this. Shots on, Identivez finds Toti, and now he's on the backside of Dyslexic, and this should be an easy Rebel round from this point forward.
Yep. Identivez needs to figure out where the rest of the team is. He's pushing up by himself right now. There goes the reinforcements. Crack. Probably hears the communication come through. Big shots being fired out. Xploidz not going down just yet. Finally, it is going to come through, but it comes at a cost. Like I always talk about, Identivez going down, but Crack got an elimination and saves the day on Identivez. Can only do so much, and there it goes. It bites them again, Colin. We were talking about the possibility of being another round win from Rebel, triple cap domination, and there goes the door swung wide open for Fire and Ice to try to take over. First comes the decap. Next, the rest of the aggression, lots of shots being taken by Demon. He gets taken out. Reinforcements not there to get the revive, but hopefully Fire and Ice does not make the same mistake that Rebel just did. They figure out their win condition and play to it.
Here comes Dyslexic trying to pressure up on a Kardia. He's got a little bit of Lancer help from the left side, so Kardia has to stay seated. Identivez is down, throws the shock out. Kardia is going to continue to back up. Demon's going to go to the left side. The Incendiary over the top will find some damage, but two players from Fire and Ice have been killed off. And Fire and Ice, as strong as they've been right now, they only have two players left to play defense. Identivez shoots him over the cover. They're going to hop. They're going to drop. All they got to do is decap B, and they're going to find themselves right back in the driver's seat. And you see it, Rebel. They are going to win this, and they are going to go up 4-3 and be on map point PR. Beautiful round by Rebel from start to finish, if you ask me.
Last-ditch effort coming through from Fire and Ice. Might have spoke too soon, Colin. One decap's going to come through on towards the home hill, but I think that's where it ends. Nobody from Dyslexic, and I do believe Toti, going to get in towards that neutral to get the breaks. Just like you said, 4-3 in favor of Fire and are in favor of Rebel. But I ask you, when will these teams learn? We see Rebel pushing up, getting over aggressive. They get taken out. The ball goes over to Fire and Ice. They begin to push up. They get the hills under their control, but they get over aggressive, and Rebel takes back the control. It's like watching Deja Vu, the same mistakes being made by two different teams. I don't know when they will learn, but Rebel is going to be the team taking advantage now, being on map point here.
Block out already. Fire and Ice. They're going to sit over that block at the Incendiary, I believe, and I think that's what they're going to go with, and they do. So the shock blocked for Fire and Ice, the Incendiary blocked for Rebel. Which one of those do you think is more pertinent?
I like the shock block because we haven't seen too many instant kills with the Incendiary grenades. So I think the lock block is going to do more damage than an instant block going through, but only time will tell. Kardia has been the player to take that one up top. They're trying to take control of this hallway. Great shots from both Demon and Identivez. Forces that shock grenade out, but look at that rotation being made. They're trying to jump in toward the middle. Dyslexic goes down. Toti falls as well. Xploidz doing what he can with the revive. I don't know how much they're going to get out of it because Toti goes down again. Rebel, they should look to stagger these deaths, but they need to do it as a team. Crack taking some big shots. Demon getting that kill blow onto Xploidz. The numbers, the bait and switch is going to be too much.
Fear the rebellion at this point. Kardia!
Oh my god!
Why even test that? Why even
playing Limbo?
My man decided, I don't know what music he's listening to, but Limbo must have been the game of choice. You can see Kardia up top now, got that easy Lancer angle. They have pressured up. If they get another kill, then you pressure that triple cap domination. They've got 4 players in the area. They play him wide enough. 1 player left to play defense. Fearzly goes for the up A, but Demon is waiting for him. The call out prior to the matchup. Clearly the top Slayer, the MVP. He might not have the most points, but there's no way that man is not in the running for MVP of this squad right now.
See it. Rebel taking that victory. 5-3 over Fire and Ice. Colin, is this something you expected coming through? I know our predictions, but I knew it was going to be a close one.
It's going to be a close one. We knew how well both of these teams were playing right now. You can see on your screen, Demon ends up getting the MVP, 21-10 for that map number 1. He looked almost as good as Trouble Eye in chat with the subscription at Tier 1. team and just getting inched out by Trouble Eye right there with that subscription. Just a hair below him right now.
Yeah, you got to give Rebel all the credit in the world, because a lot of their inconsistencies, we kind of predicted, or me and Reflection would talk time and time again. It could come from two big chiefs, two big leaders, Crack and Identivez, forming together, kind of figure out how they want to play. And you saw it week after week, they're pulling it together. And I said Identivez is no longer that main slayer on the squad. He's no longer that player that has to be the tip of the spear. And you kind of saw it in his stat line. 22 assists being dished out from Identivez in way of a Rebel win, finding themselves as a full unit, finding themselves as individuals. I don't even know how Fire and Ice can answer back after that.
They've got to figure out how to beat the Wolfpack of Rebel. A lot of the times, like Team Queso, when Rebel was able to win, they were able to stick together and really just double shot people down. They were forcing out fights that Fire and Ice wasn't ready for. And Fire and Ice, when they would take their 1Vs or they were winning their wolf packs, it's almost two teams genetically made up of the same stuff. Have really come to a head right now. It's two big bulls locking horns. And right now, Rebel is just being the bigger, stronger, better bull in this fight. I don't know what red cape Fire and Ice might be able to pull out to come away with this victory, though.
Oh, there goes Kardia playing limbo there at the end. Oh, those things where you even said it. Why even risk jumping into the laser? He clenched his butt cheeks right there as he thought he possibly could have died. But map number 2 is going to be Vaskar. I don't expect Fire and Ice to slow down just yet. They made a lot of mistakes in terms of being over aggressive, biting off more than they can chew. Even though that was the thorn in their side, Rebel was able to really take advantage of. They were the team that kind of rolled back in more situations. They played more towards their teamwork. Fire and Ice, I don't think they're going to slow down just yet. Vaskar, one of our more aggressive maps, our rotationally based match, whether you're going clockwise, counterclockwise rotations. I think Dyslexic, once they're able to get a little bit of a lead, whether you get an elimination, get a player down, bait it from there, stagger some deaths, they're going to be able to pull it together. But until that point comes, with Rebel playing how they are, it's going to be in their hands.
I mean, yeah, especially with how fast they were able to play on Exhibit. Vaskar is no slow map by any stretch of the imagination, so I fully expect them to continue to take advantage over these angles, be able to rotate around the map very quickly. And like you said, Identivez, Danny doesn't have to be the tip of the spear anymore. He's learning that. He's seeing again that he can kind of call the shots. He knows the amount of slaying power he has around him. This is going to get very hairy, very scary for Fire and Ice in this map too on Vaskar and PR. I don't know if everybody's in their positions. I don't know if our time's getting torched again, but just in case, just in case, buddy, I'm going to take this second to go ahead and give a quick plug to the Gears Esports survey. Look, if you have not already filled out and given your feedback on modes, maps, everything of the like, make sure you go out to Twitter, search in at Gears Esports, get to that survey and give your feedback. Again, I said it on Twitter and I stand by it each and every day of my own life. We go a lot further together than we ever will alone. So make sure if you love this program, if you love this game, we go together further. Give your feedback. Make sure you get it in. The boys over at UMG, headed up by Ryan Fools, has been such a good force for Gears Esports. They have done nothing but put the community and the players first, and we love them for that. And we can't thank them enough for all the hard work and dedication, blood, sweat, and tears that UMG has put forth for this program.
I can imagine a 5-map cycle, some control, some execution, escalation in there. It's really going to have to force these players to think on a different level. As the single live game types, King of the Hill, the way it's 1 hill instead of 3, the way you spawn around the map, and then obviously escalation, where it kind of be like, I don't want to call it a pocket pick, but one of those must-win scenarios because you have the practice on it. I know when I watched the E-Days back when they did have all 3 game modes, I was thoroughly enjoyed. I was almost itching to get on to the desk, or, if we were at a live event, the desk to cast some of those matches. It brought back some nostalgia, way back when we kind of had the King of the Hill and the execution cycles, almost a 13-map cycle back, COG Vengeance, way back. I might be too old for somebody to remember, but as we get into the action, just think about the possibilities that we can achieve.
And see already Toti is pressed forward. He's thinking of his possibilities and what he can achieve. He's trying to get that B hill very quickly under his control. Now Crack is posted up here with a teammate, 2v2 with the home hill of Fire and Ice. they know how this fight is going to break out, and I like this. Look at the way that Rebel has put Demon in the middle of the map. He is rotating through the middle to try to get over here to help. And Xploidz has called him out, and you can see Xploidz has the shot in the back, but Demon has not been damaged with so much right now. This is a very awkward team fight over the home hill. The first down might break this thing wide open, might crack it like an egg and try to make an omelet. You can see Demon at full red, but he sits back down just in time. Neither team coming away with a down or a kill yet.
All about that pre-fire coming through. Can they keep Kardia weak? It took a lot of damage early on, but they completely ignored him trying to go for that break. And it cost him in the end. Crack with a lot of help on his side. He's going to get a double or triple kill coming through. 3 players dead. Toti, the last player alive. He made the tank his home hill, but he realized he has to overextend. And he has to do it fast. Triple cap domination sounding off for a moment. They got to find a hill. Multiple players have the positioning to do it. Xploidz getting cut short, and I don't think it's going to come through. Rebel keep their momentum from map number 1, bleed it into map number 2, and go up 1-0.
And I mean, that's on the back of, again, Rebel just doing such a fantastic job of getting into your teammate's area, finding your teammate, finding your buddy, shooting for him, making sure that he's not downed or out, and you're giving up that advantage to Fire and Ice. It was a good rotation by Xploidz to continue to call out Demon, but you saw it. They kept sitting down, taking a seat, and making life so very hard. But an M-Bar, after round number 1 being placed at the tank, Fire and Ice has had enough. They've said, let's make this about a big team fight. And let's see what you got, big boy.
I don't necessarily disagree with putting an M-Bar down, but when you're COG, you put it down after losing the first round, you're playing into a disadvantage, especially with Identivez going in and getting that quick pick and getting out alive. Yeah, you might have lost Kardia, but if Rebel plays their cards right with that M-Bar off of respawn, retake potential, they could just give up a few 20 seconds to just gain even more. So as soon as this player respawns, gets back onto the field in Kardia, you're going to see the rotations being made. And oh my God, Demon has the M-Bar. I've seen him last week go off with the sniper, go off with the torque bow, and go off with the M-Bar in the same series, Colin. I'm scared right now.
And Demon, he's packing up, trying to find Toti across the map. Won't be able to do it just yet. They're going to continue to call him out. They're going to actually try to get a beautiful little X angle here, 90-degree angle, perpendicular to him. He's full red. Xploidz is able to rotate in. Toti has come across the middle of the map as well. So 2v1 here, and I think Demon's just wasting the shots now. Tries to reload those last 2 into the magazine, but won't be able to find anything as Toti is going to bleed him out. By the way, if you're a fan of Gears 2, if you're a big fan of the classic characters, that's Ty Kaliso on your screen. That ain't no hiccup. That's that beautiful new Hive Buster Ty skin that they released as well this week. I'm on top of it all. You know how I roll, PR.
Rebel getting caught. Sandwich. From the rotations coming through from Fire and Ice. That was their spawn. They waited too long to make a move, and they lose a man because of it. Now with 2 players still there, they're trying to go for the decap. Demon, I mean, Toti is just checking them, making sure nobody can peek for free, but there goes one. Crack trying to even it up. Fearzly's going to get the last laugh with the meat shield, trying to get the capture on the hills as well. Talking about the X angle, Identivez is going to get that down from across the map. Kardia goes for the elimination, and Dyslexic gets the kill blow. And because of that being Rebel's side of the map, that was a great play from Dyslexic. And now you see both players, Toti and Xploidz, they're trying to use this to their advantage while the deaths are being staggered. They try to attack this neutral hill where the tank is at.
I see Identivez trying to roll back, full red, trying to get in the corner where he can hide out and get his health back, but he's going to get that first kill on a Toti. Now he's pushing up into that mid-neutral, bouncing around. He's going to get called out by Xploidz. I love the movement. He turns back around. He and Kardia pressuring up onto Xploidz. The quick little revive, but the shot from Crack! The shot from Crack from the top side got the kill. Triple cap domination being threatened. The only player in that hill is Demon. Toti will get the pick on him. 2 players now moving over to the A hill. All tied up, but they need a decap here quickly because, again, Rebel is going to get up over that 200-point threshold very quickly. Identivez rolls into that area, tries to get in before he goes down, but he's going to be full red. Fearzly will have that break. I think you have to stay in that hill. I think you got to go for this cap right here, right now, to try to get back into this. Crack, though, is going to move back up and pressure this. They've got 1 kill. They're going for a second, but no points in going in favor of Rebel right now. Fire and Ice might come away with this. They might be able to steal it with this next couple of kills.
That's 2 hills under their control. They're going to get it. It's going to be up to Rebel. Do they make the aggressive enough plays to get at least one of these TCAPs? But they honestly need two at this point. They need a triple neutralization. Identiv doing what he can, but Crack finds himself another M-bar kill. Late portion of the round. I'm getting too excited right now because there's nobody there.
They get 249!
The opportunity Identivez goes down though. Identivez, man. That was a nice try. That was a nice try coming out from Rebel, but you got to give it to Crack there from the side of Rebel, finding 2 kills to make it as exciting as it was. But Fire and Ice able to hold on. That last second capture over towards the tank, that neutral really played the difference.
Definitely did make a difference. That is the tie-up round by Fire and Ice. It's only the second round, though. As you can see, already Boltok being placed down by Fire and Ice. They're trying to catch up now. Rebel's going to have, I believe, a retro, maybe a hammer burst, but I don't think you're going to go that way very often. You'll probably see it here in just a moment, but they are taking their time to talk about it. I like that strategy. I like that Rebel's actually talking about it. They're trying to think of this next move. They're trying to make sure they don't just throw another round away, throw their lives to the wayside because they get a little over-aggressive. Let's see if Fire and Ice can do the same thing. Can they get into this mid-neutral and get the M-bar out the way Rebel was able to? And they're not going for the quick pick. They're going to set up and try to win this as a straight-up fight.
I don't disagree with it. I do think the play opportunity is there for them to try to do it off the initial. But for Rebel, a team that just did that strategy, getting M-bar into the hands of Identivez, you got to think they might be expecting it the first couple rounds. I don't want to throw it out of the window in terms of potential of it happening, but this part Demon Fearzly throwing around again in that 1v1 scenario. We've seen how much both of these players can really make a difference, but it's going to be stalemated for now, simply because Fire and Ice, they have that tank, they have that positioning. It's almost impossible for Rebel to push over. I do think it's going to come through with both players, Toti and I think Xploidz, trying to overextend the backside of tank, and that's where Dyslexic is going to have to backtrack as well, but he goes into the middle. He wants to take the fight to Crack.
Definitely does. Fearzly's going to push up, goes for that first slide, doesn't get hit, but so hard. Now Demon's trying to push up, walks to the corner. Fearzly almost hits one. Now you see, I believe Fearzly has to win this fight very quickly. As a player, I believe, is trying to sneak up behind him. That's going to be Dyslexic trying to come from behind. 3 players from Fire and Ice are dead. Rebel's going to try to go for this triple cap domination. Full red. Dyslexic's going to go down, rolls back into the hill. Triple cap domination is sorted and ready to go. Oh, it gets... Wow. But why?
If Fire and Ice, I'm about to say, if Fire and Ice figures out a way to capitalize onto that, he's flexing. He doesn't even think that's a possibility, and the reset comes through like, uh-oh. What happened was, guys, and I do that in the King of the Hill sometimes, Colin, I won't even lie, where I purposely don't cap the hill just for my teammates to die on the other side of the map, just so then I cap the hill and win the game.
That is the most PR thing I've ever heard you say. That is the most, I am the least doubtful person you have let that happen. As somebody who's been on
never
a King,
to you.
You know, you say that, but now I question every engagement I've ever been in on a King of the Hill matchup with you as a team. You're the only guy I know on day one of execution that wanted to stalemate out after stalemating out. You were like, let me just have this. Let's just stalemate everything out and see what happens.
Gotta test the waters, man. You gotta test the water. You gotta break the machine, and then you figure out what needs to be fixed from there. It's a constant cycle. They fix it, I break it. They fix it, I break. It's an ongoing relationship, but there goes the strategy from Rebel. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But you might need to fix up your strategy now. Same strategy twice in a row. Didn't work out for you, but maybe it did. But no, well-placed flash from Xploidz. Gets that kill onto Identity. It was a massive kill. Even though Crack is going to get out alive, the end bar is not. And he continues to press forward. He gets Crack as well. They're going to find this kill on Kardia if they play their cards right. So that's going to be 3 players dead off of this initial for Fire and Ice.
See Identivez, he's holding this corner right here. He's trying to wait for Toti to slide into it, try to get a kill, but I believe they had him marked out, so Toti knew what was happening. Toti 2 wraps going, but won't be able to find just a hair of damage. Now, well, the Lancer pulled out from Identivez, and they see that players are moving up that middle stairwell. They're going to pinch out Demon over here. Demon full red. They're trying not to give up the life of Dyslexic. They get that kill. They're going to let him bleed for just a moment, which is going to give the ability of Rebel to try to pressure up with their Lancers out to try to push into this fight. Smoke's down now. Nobody able to find a kill just yet, but Rebel has found the neutralization of the retake on B. Flash is back. Fearzly trying to move up on Identivez. A lot of damage, but no down just yet. And this fight is, again, we've seen it in round 1. Now we're seeing it in round 4. It's almost stalemated in a lot of ways. It takes forever on either team to really break through.
I like the way it's playing. It's like a chess match right now, but they're going to go ahead and take the pawn, taking out Kardia. Toti goes down for just a moment, but not too long, as Fire and Ice looking to capture this hill and keep 2 under their control. They already have a 20-point lead, and they're looking to pad onto it even more. This is where, if I'm cracked, you got to figure out something. Figure out some plays to be made and stretch the defense thin as possible, so that way you can make the rotations. But it is going to be the play coming through. Fire and Ice actually being the ones to backtrack. You can't hold on to that hill forever, so they want to set their sights on towards that neutral. So it's going to be a 2v2. 2 players going and playing aggressively, while 2 players try to back out, make sure they're not going to get their own home hill overtaken.
I see Xploidz. He's going to go up toward that second half home hill, just trying to find the angle. Demon pulls that M-bar and doesn't hit anybody, doesn't get a kill. Now Crack is stuck between 3 different members. The drop from Toti will get that easy body shot out. They've got 2 kills over here. Triple decap, triple neutralization right now on the matchup, and it looks like Rebel's over at the home hill of Fire and Ice, and they're going to get that C hill in favor, and you see Rebel trying to pressure back into their own home hill. They get it down, and they could find themselves right back in the driver's seat if they can get around the map, but they are down in points, and Kardia has waited in the wings long enough to try to get a lot of that early damage. Here comes Identivez for the quick revive. Toti has a 2v1 to deal with. He's going to get cleaned up. This should be a neutralization in favor of Rebel. They're trying to find this triple decapitalization, but Xploidz with that M-bar, 1 headshot to his name, will find this B-hill right back in their favor.
Getting the cap is important, but this elimination is just as important if they're looking to come back. Usually you want to kind of turtle up, rack up some points, but no, you need to be aggressive. That's a big kill from Xploidz. You know the targets are right in front of you. They're doing a good job of bouncing back. Fire and Ice are going to get the 2 hills in their control again, but now it gets decapped, but I think that is going to be it in favor of Fire and Ice. Attacking 2 places at once, spreading the defense thin from Rebel was the answer, and now they're going to go and tie it up 2-2 going into the half. This is a chess match like I talked about. I made my prediction set in stone, but I knew this was not going to come easy for either one of these teams.
We see here 2-2 stacked up, matched up. We go to the second half, and PR, the easiest way to hear all the action in any Gears esports stream is having the best possible audio headset on your ears at all times, and they are only provided by the good folks over at Astro Gaming. And make sure you get yourself tournament ready by getting over there to astrogaming.com. Pick up yourself, do yourself a favor, get yourself some Fly A40s, maybe some A50s, and whether you like it wired or wireless is all up to you. But PR, the second half of this matchup is going to be one hell of a fight between these 2 teams, as Rebel, I'm sure, does not want to see a map 3.
What did I miss? What? Okay. So obviously somebody's lagging out, right? Can I see the scoreboard, Tom? I just want to figure out something real quick. So
my man hit you with the first Toti.
Yeah, Toti is. I play with him on Apex. He's carrying the heck out of me. He's making me achieve heights I've never thought I'd reach. No, he's not making me taller when it comes to the rankings. But the reason why I'm thinking that down is because that's all they threw the Talon pistol there. And it makes me wonder, with Toti being the kill leader, the point leader right now, he's going to be the one that kind of selects where the weapon goes. If Toti lagged out, was that Talon pistol intentional?
I'm not sure.
Because I know me, or I should say, I know these players, they have tricks up their sleeve. They could have intentionally placed the Talon pistol down because, you know how it locks down a full-on alleyway, a pathway. It's hard for these people to travel through. But you know the headshot potential, the damage a Bullseye could do across the map. To me, that's just one of those interesting aspects, because I've seen it in Gears 4. I've seen it in Gears 4, and it was Identiv's team, to be exact. They accidentally placed the sniper down, but they were so far ahead, they said, hey, I don't care. We're going to keep that sniper down. We don't need to back out. We're going to win regardless.
I love Meerkat's easy glide, man. It's like easy like Sunday morning. This is a slow, just progressive slide around the map. I wonder if he's
keyboard or controller.
I think he's actually doing it. I think my man set himself up with a pretty fancy dancy piece of technology. I have no idea whether or not to confirm that he's doing it with a controller. I was really hoping he was going to do it with this sweet pad thing I saw.
But you're already down 1-0. Yeah, it's tied up 2-2, but you're going to have to change up a lot of your strategies. So when I'm changing up the strategies, they involve dyslexic being the tip of the spear.
Well, as we can see, everything getting loaded up properly. Shocks out on both sides. Crack will place down that Boltok. Once again, Rebel will be ahead in the weapon tree placement on their side of the map because of the fact that the M-bar was placed down by Fire and Ice. Here we come to the next round. Fire and Ice coming out of spawn now with Nero instead of Toti. Nero pushing up over here to the left side. Flash out. He is full stun, bouncing around between two players. He's going to get double shot down. The quick revive out, but Xploidz answers back with a little bit of help from his teammate. Now Fearzly moves up. Shock grenade will be out. Have a lot of damage onto him, but down comes onto Xploidz. I think they're caught between a rock and a hard place, and you're going to have to figure out if it's Dwayne Johnson or Mount Rushmore that you want to go flying at. But right now, they pick one of them. They get the kill, and now Identivez is down, and I don't know if anybody's in the area to get a kill on him.
Oh, not just yet. M-bar in the hands of Xploidz, though. I've seen what this man can do with a precision weapon on a harbor. Let's see what he can do here on Vaskar, especially a rotationally based map. You're going to have opportunities to shoot out these players on the side of Rebel with 2 hills. This is going to be a good position for them. They're able to rack up the score line, bait some players in, but they need to make sure they're as close as possible. He gets downed out. M-bar's out of play, quickly picked right back up by Dyslexic. He's one of those players I'm talking about. You have nothing to lose here except for the match himself, of course, but you begin to heat up. You got to take it and use it to your advantage. Big shots being fired off. Player even respawning towards the backside. Can Xploidz clean it up? He gets one. Unable to save the life, but he's continuing to be aggressive. Is he going to get the kill? No, he actually gets tagged towards the backside. Multiple players getting taken out. Luckily, Fearzly is there, spawning up in the nick of time. No triple cap domination just yet for Rebel, but they're able to come back, bringing it down to 30-point deficit to overcome. With 2 hills under their control, they're going to pass that in just a few seconds.
See Identivez with the hop up now, trying to pressure up onto Fearzly. Boltok shot onto him. Will have some damage out. He's going to get pressured for just a moment, but Fearzly ends up coming out and getting Lancer down by Kardia. Now they pressure up onto Xploidz. Oh, meanwhile, over at the E-Hill, 2 players from Fire and Ice have decapped that E-Hill. Dyslexic will be pushing up, and your ears do deceive you. Yes, you heard Marcus say eyes on target, but that is young Captain Hoffman, the skin that he is playing with. Still having, oh my God, Demon, stop getting headshots with a Boltok. It makes my heart hurt because you're so good.
Oh, he gets the trade as well. I don't even know how this man does it. 2 hills. Fearzly doing what he can. He's trying to get the decap to come through. That's so close. So if they're able to capture that hill as well and hold on to it as 2 more players from Rebel do get taken out, they're going to be in a good spot here. You see the overextension on the other side of the map. Demon spawning up. He's in a 1v1 against Dyslexic, but will he take it? Yes, he is. You see the rest of the members spawning up. They want to overextend, try to get the neutral. Well, another player, Kardia, going down low. They want to go ahead and try to attack both hills at once. This match is so close. They can easily come back. This is still either team's game.
Fearzly on the backside of the tank, trying to find this angle. 2-to-1 hill advantage being given over to Rebel in later goings of this round, down to 10 seconds. And you see Fire and Ice has to fly to the E-Hill. They got to get to both hills here momentarily, all the way down to just 4 seconds. They get the decap of the E-Hill, which buys 4 more seconds, but the kills come through. The hill will go back in favor of Rebel, and that will give them the round victory. They are up now 3-2 and find themselves 2 rounds away from a 2-0.
Exactly. A few seconds of differential there needed, and I think that decap would have come through. The possibility was definitely there, but talk about the sub. Nero coming in, and honestly, Nero just looking a little rusty there on that first one. I do think he might have flashed himself. I saw a second flash come in right after. It's down bad, and he was not looking like he was going to come out alive on that exchange, and he didn't as well. So he has to make sure he's on point. He can't be missing something as easy as the first flash.
Not at all, not at all. Not when you got to come in off of the bench and you got to be ripping and raring and ready to go at any moment. When opportunity knocks, you better answer the door. Identivez throws the smoke, but he gets down. Beautiful job. Now you see the extra flash comes out. Demon goes through the middle of the map to try to go for this flank. Gets 1 down and out with the Lancer. Fearzly will hit him with 2 Boltoks, and a 3rd one will get the down. And now you see them rotate around as Identivez will pick up that M-bar. Kardia, beautiful movement out of him. The shimmy shake was just too good for Fearzly to mount up to him. Crack goes in for the back A. Fearzly catches him with 1 up A. Now hits the body shot on Kardia. Stands up after the misroll and gets the 2nd. Wins a 2v1 for his squad. And now puts his squad in the shot and the opportunity to try to pressure this triple cap domination if they so choose. But they're going to need 1 more set of slays.
Yep. See them Quickly rotating over. Great headshot from Identivez and Rebel. They have no stress right here. No worry. Yeah, they need to find a way to get some points and start gaining some momentum, but they knew the game wasn't over. They knew Demon had a free decap on the hill. They didn't rush anything. Shot grenade towards the side. Identivez just wants to cut out one angle from Lancering at him, but he didn't get it deep enough. That angle is still strong. You see the Lancer fire raining through, unable to connect, but there goes the kill onto Fearzly. Cleaning up a down. Xploidz goes next. So it's not looking good in late portions for Fire and Ice, trying to survive. 3 players there, 4 total, and it doesn't look like Nero is going to survive this. So 3 players dead at one point from Fire and Ice. Open up the world of options for Rebel.
See Dyslexic, he'll mount up at the top of the arrivals where those suitcases are, the top of the luggage, revving up that M-bar, trying to find Dyslexic, trying to get this last shot.
Oh, wow.
He slides into the cover, takes his head clean off as he hits that cover post. Fearzly's full red, but he's going to have a down here in the middle of the map onto Kardia. Gets the quick little shot off onto him. 3 players crossing over to that first half of mid-neutral hill. Crack will find 1. That's a big kill for them, if you ask me. That's really going to slow them being able to pressure a 3-man decap at the F hill. Dyslexic pushing up now. Identivez has his snub out. He was waiting to see anybody, but there's the flash. Gets the 2-shot down and the quick kill off. Nero rotates back. 2 players now. 4 Fire and Ice have to be in this position, but the shot over the cover gets the down. Dyslexic will be hanging out in this corner.
He's getting the revive.
Why? Why does this happen so often in Gears Esports? Do we want to time everybody out so much that we leave kills to get revived out? This is a Fire and Ice round. That is a mistake you cannot make. I'm like, at what point do we learn from our lessons? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. At what point?
Hero trying to hold on, trying to waste as much time as possible. The seconds are closing in. One last effort coming through. Multiple downs, multiple pre-fire. Just a few seconds left. Both players go down. One flank coming through from Dyslexic again. Did he get towards the back line? Is he going to have a chance at the break? No, he is not. It was actually Demon with that effort. We've seen him come up big, but he was denied the opportunity here. And exactly what you said, Dyslexic making the sneaky play. He would have got the decap regardless, but having that extra player in Nero there to solidify it, to keep the momentum on your side, was massive on the side of Dyslexic. And we've seen some historic players make those plays before and really win championships doing just that.
Now you see Crack hovering over that retro. Will they go for the incendiary and go full utility grenades? I believe that's what we have to think that they're going to do. There it is,
options.
PR.
Yep.
I mean, pretty much.
One of the only options. You got to get those instants out, especially knowing how fast these teams like to pick up that M-bar, specifically Rebel, though. And this is where at any moment, I do think Fire and Ice has the potential. If I see some smokes on their side, I see Xploidz with 1, Fearzly's with 1. They could be trying to go for a quick pick. They could be going for some sort of a trick strat with a player going in the middle as well.
They get that easy flank off. Fearzly's behind 1, gets the down. They're going in for the revive out. Kardia doesn't get it off onto Crack, and now Kardia is going to be caught between 3 different players shooting at him. He's going to go down, and that rotational flank by Fire and Ice works absolutely picture perfectly. They're going to get the 2 kills. They're going to be able to solidify at least the home hill of Rebel, and now Rebel is forced to go after the E hill. They have to rotate all the way over and try to take out Dyslexic, who has a retro, to slow up anybody that tries to get a cap over at E. Xploidz has the M-bar. Dyslexic has an easy rotation over to Identivez, and right now, Fire and Ice is actually putting up a better fight with Nero in the lineup, I believe, PR.
Sometimes, like I said, it puts that pressure on the rest of the players. They begin to make some moves. Nero with a big flank. And that doesn't come without the distraction brought out from both Dyslexic and Xploidz. And Nero pushing forward. He wants to solidify the elimination, knowing you're not going to get a triple cap domination. So coming in as a sub, he might have a little bit of a shaky start with that big initial to start him off. But since then, he's fitting into this roster perfectly. As see Fire and Ice trying to go for 2 hills once again. But Identivez doing what he can. He's going to get the decap onto the hill and keep it reset while trying to go for the elimination. That's going to be a big kill onto Xploidz, and now he's backtracking and realized, hey, I got a kill. Now it's time for some points.
See Fearzly just bouncing around trying to find another one like we talked about earlier. No fear because Fire and Ice has nothing to lose. Nero will finish off that down. They're going to finish off this kill. And Identivez is continuing to pressure the home hill of Fire and Ice by himself. He gets another kill. Absolutely beautiful, but the rotation from Fearzly comes back, gets the down on him, and they're going to be able to clean him up momentarily. But I don't think that there's going to be much of an option for Rebel, as they're going to have to get decaps on every hill to be able to come back into this one, because they are down over 100 points.
Massive deficit to come back from, but we've seen Identiv-led teams make some last pushes before and come out perfectly unscathed. Now they're gonna have to do it yet again. Kardia, he's just flirting with that hill capture, trying to figure out the information, trying to figure out what he can get away with and what he can't. They know they can't go for the hill, so they're going for the kills instead. Big damage being fired out. Shock grenade trying to create some separation as well. Xploidz, he's taking a bunch of damage. Identivez with a flank, but he gets caught slipping. He gets taken out, but it comes through with a trade. Xploidz and Nero both go down, and you leave them down in this situation, Calm. There's no way, no how they're gonna touch one of these hills. So Rebel, they have to start solidifying the eliminations. Nobody slips through, just as much as they're focused on the objective as well.
Dyslexic pushing back up over to that tank fight. He has the M-bar in hand. Fire and Ice, again, as long as they hold court at their home, they are going to win this. There is nowhere for them to be able to go. Rebel has to go for a full retake here. Any kills are good kills for them. Here comes the first push. Nero will be the first one to get pressured out by two different players, but Dyslexic hits one. He doesn't hit the second body shot, but that kill right there opens things up wide for all of Fire and Ice to try to take advantage of the last players alive, and they will be on map point here to send us to a map number 3. They're going to go up 4-3 in this second map on Vaskar.
Hey, at least Fire and Ice knows, at least Toti can sit there comfortably knowing, hey, no matter what happens, I have a sub, I have a fifth man that can really pull it up when it matters. I'm not saying he wants to take days off. I'm not saying he wants to miss out any of these matches. When push comes to shove, you have no other choice. There's at least somebody you can rely on, because you saw the flanks coming through from Nero at least 2 different times in that round, making some great plays with the rest of his team. Like I said, it's not just the one person, it's the full unit of Fire and Ice working together as a cohesive unit.
Identiv's hovering toward the middle of the map. Not sure really what she can do to try to change the fight up. They just add ammo over to the M-bar. They have both the utility grenades that they want. They don't go for the lock here. So all utilities and an M-bar out on the map. Full power, full force. Rebel want to win this round and take it to a round number 9.
Save this for later.
Right now, nobody going through the middle of the map. It is a full stacked fight right now. Fire and Ice went for the early decap or early capture over there at E, but Demon slows that down. Identiv's backside of the tank, just trying to find an opening for anybody. Not sure what you have to do in this situation if you're either one of these squads to be able to break this open, maybe get a little aggressive. There's an incendiary toward Dyslexic, doesn't find him. Snub out. Demon still just holding court, not allowing Dyslexic to get into that hill for the full capture.
Even in this situation, it's hard. He either gives up the high ground to try to physically put himself to contest for the hill, or he goes down this way, forces him out, and gives up the whole right side of the map, possibly a capture as well. He's going to choose the latter to give up a possible capture, trying to get some positioning on over towards the hill. So the tie is going to be broken. Dyslexic, however, is going to get taken out from Demon, so he will get the last laugh, showing no mercy, even humping him a little bit. And you don't want to do that too soon. We've seen that type of play curse some of these teams to where they lose the match in the end. So hopefully the same can't be said, but it's going to be Nero coming up big, getting that first kill on to Kardia, and Fearzly getting the exchange as well. They're trying to get some sort of a footing, some sort of a foundation built on over towards these tanks, but Fearzly bites up more than he can chew. Him going down basically opens up another opportunity. They need to get this kill onto Dyslexic. Keep staggering out these deaths. Make those 2 players that are spawning up going across the map regret that move.
You can already see 2 players pushing over to the E-hill, trying to get into that spot, trying to get that decap off. You can see them almost finding themselves a retake, but Crack shuts down Xploidz with a headshot. I mean, that should give them full authority to get the other 2 kills there and really push this to a round of 9, because they're going to be up over 160 here momentarily. And Fearzly's waiting in the wings. He is trying to play a little hide and go seek in this situation. If he can find either of these kills, that's going to open this thing wide up for them to try to get this retake. Body shot missed by Crack. Now Fearzly going for this. I mean, this is wow. Wow.
That was a turnaround from Kardia. Kept him on an ankle, turns and burns, as my man Colin would say. I'm gonna steal that one out of your book and slowly but surely add it into mine there. But I like where Cracked is positioned here. So now right here, they can try to push over, even though they don't have to try to keep Dyslexic and get the M-bar shots onto him. But Kardia going down across the map. They're gonna solidify this positioning on over towards E, but they have to be careful. There goes the flank coming through. It's going to be Nero versus Crack here in just a few short moments, but Crack catches Nero slipping and puts the final nail into the coffin. And we are going to go to a round number 9 between these two powerhouses.
Instantaneous double locks. Instantaneous double blocks. Is that? Come on, guys.
I feel like it has to at this point.
I mean, unless one team decides to put a power weapon down and give the other team a free block, but I don't think either team has hit themselves in the head very often lately.
One team puts the M bar or puts a weapon at E and then you block the M bar?
No, you put the weapon at E and then the other team puts fragmentation grenades in the crater.
Oh, please. I know that's impossible now with the lock already going down, so you can already see on the side of Rebel, they don't want to deal with the shock grenade, but the difference in strategy comes through where Fire and Ice say no to that incendiary grenade. And with the incendiary grenade not being up top towards the ticket, that opens up a big push. You see the smokes already in the arsenal. Fire and Ice want that M-bar.
So here we go. Nero will throw out the smoke, getting into the area, going for the body block. No, he goes for the pick himself. He will get body blocked for. Shot over the cover toward Identivez, but kills will be traded out thus far. Fearzly's down. They get a quick revive off onto him. 3v3 on the map. Official locked up. Nobody able to pressure up that mid-neutral hill just yet. Nero is going to rotate over with Xploidz with that respawn, trying to make sure nobody can stop Dyslexic from getting that E-hill capped up.
Take this.
That's right. Get into the hands of Xploidz. There you go. You figured it out. Now the flashes are out. They're trying to push up into that F-hill.
Ooh.
Almost catches one slipping. You can see him trying to survey the area. I think they have to stay down and cover, stay out. But I believe you see multiple players. They're gonna be able to angle this out. They've got to push them to the right side. They got to get them out from behind those covers. Long range incendiary won't find anybody, but he will get Demon stuck there. There's nothing he can do. He throws the shock to stop him from coming up the stairs, and Xploidz still can't find a shot.
And somehow, someway Crack, he goes through. With the help of Demon, they get a double kill. Now the pressure's on Xploidz. You got to hit these shots, buddy. You were missing before, but he backs up against the wall, finds one elimination, but Identivez from downtown yet again. And I talk about he doesn't have to be that Slayer anymore, Colin. Now he's keeping his head on a swivel, looking for the necessary shots. Dyslexic doing what he can, but it does look like a lot of damage being dished out. Crack is going to take him out as well. They're going to get this neutral and keep that lead going. And they want to end this map. It might be around number 9, but they want it to be a 2-0.
See Fearzly trying to push up, going for this sneak play, slides up the stairs. Now is in a 1v1 against the Identivez, hits the back A on him, hits another one. Fearzly has gone absolutely outrageously massive for his squad this entire matchup. Shots onto Crack from behind. Dyslexic pushes up. He's going to get the down there on Crack, and Kardia finds himself out of position. This is the turnaround that Fire and Ice needed. They're off for the races over to E to try to stop them from staying in this round. And Identivez is the first line of defense. He has, I believe, Demon behind him, but Demon's going to get lanced out from behind. They have done everything. Right now, Fire and Ice has done everything right for the past 30 seconds in this round. Every single thing right.
Wow, great Lancers coming through. They stagger the deaths yet again. And that's the biggest thing is continue to stagger those deaths. You immediately get that elimination up top. I agree with that one. You don't stagger that death simply because it's so close to the home mill. But look at the numbers. They're trying to overtake it. Crack was able to get one. Kardia does what he can. He's in a 1v1 scenario. Did he buy enough time? Nero's going to get one, but they're in the spawn of Rebel. You can't overstay your welcome, but they're actually both home mills being attacked right now. But Fire and Ice, they're going to get the 2 hills. They can still come back, but it has to be uncontested. They're forcing Crack back, but for how long can they keep this one going? The neutral hill is going to be taken down fiercely. He gets another elimination. You talk about playing perfect. It's going to continue in way of Fire and Ice, but they need this neutralization or they need this early capture on the E.
The E-hill's been won by Rebel right now, and you see the second shot come out. They get into the hill. The Mistral comes out. The Mistral gives him a free kill. 4-man wipe. Rebel comes through. Rebel shuts them down. Ladies and gentlemen, Fire and Ice get gamey, but it's too little too late as Rebel take it 5-4, round 9, and win this matchup 2-0 over Fire and Ice.
might have faltered a little bit and it might have looked a little shaky, but at the end of the day, it's Rebel who hold on, and 20 kills from Fearzly on the side of Fire and Ice. Toti lagging out. He did everything he could just to come up with the big fat L.
Sometimes you do everything you can and you still find yourself one step short of that vaunted finish line. Rebel with a beautiful series there against Fire and Ice, even with the replacement of Nero. Fire and Ice was gamey the whole second half. They were not going to go down. They were going to play very aggressively. They were going to play up on Rebel, and I actually think that worked to their benefit at times. The way that they were able to stay in Rebel's face, it turned kind of into almost a glorified shoddy lobby at times, because everybody was within about 5-6 feet of each other with shotguns out, and that's what you're going to see in a lot of these highlight reel plays. You'll see a few crosses, you'll see a few cross-map M bars, but you are not going to see much in the way of some fancy team fight tactics. You're going to see some beautiful CQC fights, left, right, center. There was that beautiful M bar from behind. I mean, my God. But look at these highlights are basically just everybody's got shotguns out and is just putting all the shells across the map. Thank God we don't have disposable cover out here, because there'd be nothing left. Everything would be gone. It'd be a flat map right now.
And this is where you got to give Rebel props, all the props in the world, because coming into this one, they had some inconsistency problems, not in this match, but into this split. They had inconsistency problems. We've talked about it week after week. But since then, this split started, they've cleaned up their act, they pulled it together, and it didn't matter if it was Toti in the game or the sub. They stayed true to their play style. They gave up some rounds, but in the end, they held on. And you got to give up to a team like that. You might fall to some rounds, you make a few adjustments, and it works out for you. And man, that misroll by Nero, that's just sad by Nero. And honestly, he didn't mean to do it, but if he doesn't misroll right there, he gets that chunk on the player, maybe the round is continuing.
I saw that misroll right in front of him to get that final kill of the map, and literally it was one of those situations where, as hype as I was for Rebel to be able to hold on to that and be able to solidify that 9th round, I was like, unfortunate. Like, there's no other word to describe that misroll in the final seconds to try to get into that hill and get that decap. But it really, I don't even know if it would have made the difference, as the E hill was being captured up because Rebel had won the 1v1 over there. So I think it would have added like 2 seconds to the timer. The cap would have gone off, and then the last 2 seconds would count it down. But still, you know, heightened tension, heightened sensitivity at that time. It's just crazy. It's craziness.
At the end of the day, Colin, it is what it is, because Rebel, they were destined to take that series. And honestly, I've been picking Rebel a lot this season. I'm gonna go during the commercial break, slap myself a little bit for not continuing to follow along that Rebel hype train. A 2-0 victory. That's a big victory. And we talk about how close that major is around the corner, and Gears of War being a game of momentum. You teams, you better prepare, you better watch out, because if you sleep on them, you will pay.
If I were you,